Okay, now guys, we're going to see how we get these angles if, for example, you are solve for theta in the following equations. Now, here we are going to see how we get an inverse of a trig functions. Prepare your calculators. I'm going to show you how do you place them on a calculator. So now, remember in our first lesson, we said this is all sine, tan, and then cos. So this one is all are positive, sine only, tan, and cos. This one is helping us that when we get our cubed, we can now determine all angles in given quadrants. Now, note, the sign, if it's positive, is just indicating us the quadrants that we are going to use. After knowing the quadrants, you ignore the sign on the ratio. Let us see in this example. Solve for theta in the following. Now this is my theta. Solve it. You make sure that you have only cos theta or sin theta or tan theta. What you do, you take cos the side. Here we are saying that you are getting the inverse of cos. So when I get this side, it will be now theta equaling to cos inverse of a half. As simple as that. Now, because this is positive, you start this ratio is positive. You start cos is positive in two quadrants. The first and then the fourth. So after noting that this side is positive, you note that the quadrants we are going to use the first and then the fourth. Why? Because cos is positive in these two quadrants only. So this is going to be our first quadrant and then also the first quadrant. That's where cos is positive. Now, how do we place this on the calculator? Now I'm going to show you, this is my calculator. Now I'm going to show you how we place it onto the calculator. So now, from there, you come to calculator. This is mine. Hope you look at it now here. Now, there is this button of shift. And then here you see, there is this button of cos. Now you start up here, you start button is having cos inverse, that one. So now it's telling us that to press cos inverse, you first shift, then you press that button of cos inverse. So look at this. I have now, I'm going to say shift. When you press shift, you see that sign is coming. Then you want cos, inverse of cos. Then you press here cos. I think it's that my thing is coming there. Then you say open brackets. You see how you write a fraction. You press a 1. You press this one. Then you press this button here, AB over C. Then you press the denominator, which is 2. Then you close the bracket. Then you press equals. So when you press that, the answer you get is that. So now, we have seen that when you press this on the calculator, the answer you get is 60 degrees. Now, this 60 degrees is acute, or is this angle here is in the first quadrant. Now, good enough to know that our angles are in the first and then the fourth. So because this is in the first, I also take this. Now I come to the fourth quadrant. This is how I calculate this angle. So now in the first quadrant, this is the angle. Then I will get the other angle by saying I get 360 minus the theta, which is 60. And you see that this one is going to give me 300. Now they are my angles in the two quadrants. The one in the first and then the one in the fourth. The one in the first is 60. And then the one in the fourth is 300 degrees. And from there we have solved that. So that's how we handle this. Now when I come to this, you see now cos is not alone. We first make cos theta the subject. By taking this side, so we have 4 equaling to negative 3. Then we remove this coefficient by dividing through by 4. So now my cos theta will be negative 3 over 4. Now this negative is indicating us now that we are going to use quadrants where cos is negative, and we have seen that cos is negative in this and this quadrant, because in this quadrant it's only sine that is positive, and here it's only tan that is positive, meaning the remaining two are positive, a negative. So cos is positive here and here, meaning in these two is negative. So because we have a negative sign here, it means that now we are going to use those quadrants where our cos is negative and those two quadrants are the second, and then the third. Why? Because cos is positive in two quadrants. In the first, where all of them are positive, the sine, the cos, and tan. Then in the third, the fourth, where only cos is positive. So meaning it's going to be negative in this and negative in this. So after seeing this negative, you immediately indicate that cos is negative in the second and the third quadrant, like that. Now, after indicating this sign, now we ignore the sign and we get our acute angle. So now, I ignore this sign now, I come and I get the angle for cos theta equaling 3/4. This negative was indicated for me the quadrant. Then here, I'll press theta will be now cos inverse. I think you know now how to press cos inverse 3/4. Then when you press this on the calculator, now this angle is in the first quadrant, but remember, we don't need any angle in the first quadrant. But this angle is helping us to get other angles in other quadrants. So mine here we give all angles to 2 decimal places. So when I get this, this is what I have. Then you come and I show you how I pressed that one. Now, you say I need cos inverse of 3/4. What you do, you press shift, then you press cos, you see that cos, then the inverse is going to come, then you open brackets, you press now a 3, because the other fraction is 3/4, you press 3, then this one is the one which we say, this is the numerator, then the denominator you press this one, that one is going to come, then you press the denominator which is 4, I think you see when I press a 4, then I cross, then I press equals. That's the answer I'm getting. But remember that I'm giving them to 2 decimal places. So it's going to be 41.4. Then I round off to the nearest number, which is 4.41. Then that's the answer. But now, remember this one is in the first quadrant. Remember the answers I want are in the second and then the third. So I use this one now to get the ones I want. So now my theta is going to be the one in the second, which is 180. Minus 41.41, comma, and then the one in the third, which is 180 plus 41.41. Then here our theta will be, you just simplify this, you say 180 minus 41.41. This would be 138.59 degrees, comma, then this one, you get 221.410. So these are the angles only. I'm not including this because this is just the acute that is helping me to get these ones. Here I included the acute because I wanted the angles in the first and the fourth, and this acute was in the first. That's why I included it, because I wanted it. But here, I want angles in the second and the third. I don't want this acute because this acute is in the first quadrant. Okay, now let us count this. Now this one we first also make time the subject by taking this side. So 3 times theta will be equaling 2. When I take this side, I'll be having 3. Divide 4 by 3, my tan theta becomes 1. Now we get the inverse, so my theta will be now tan inverse of 1. Let me show you how we press that one for tan. For tan now, you come, you also press shift. Then you see where tan is. My tan, I think you see where tan is. Tan is there. Then you press that. I think you see that the inverse is coming. You open brackets, you press this button here. Then you put the figure there. Our figure is 1. Then you cross the bracket. And then you press equals. I think you see when you press equals, that is the value that is coming. So those are 45 degrees. So tan inverse of 1 is 45 degrees. Now, you come back here. You start here, it's positive. You see one is positive. Meaning, tan is positive in how many quadrants? The first and the third. So here we need angles in the first and the third. Why? Because it's where tan is positive. The sign in front of this is positive. So we need now, remember here all of them are positive, and here it's only tan which is positive. So it's positive in 2 quadrants. 2, here and here. So now, in fact, this attribute is always in the first, meaning I will need this also. Then to get the other one in the fourth quadrant, we get theta equal to 180, then plus 45. And this will give you, when you add there, you get 225 degrees. So it means that therefore my theta is going to be the one in the first quadrant, which is 45 degrees, and then the one in the third quadrant, which is 225 degrees. So that's how I place them. Why this and this is in the first order? Acute, it means it's between 0 and 90. That's why it is in the first quadrant. Then this one is also in the third quadrant because third is positive there. Now when I come to this one, now this one will first expand so that we correct like that. So this will be, when we expand here we have 4 sine x, then plus a 4. So take everything this side. You bring sine this side, we have sine minus 4 equaling 2. When I take this side, I'll be having okay. So let us make this. Let us have a little change on that number there. Let us make this let us make it sorry, but let me change this number here. Let us make this this one be maybe half. Let us make it half. So when I multiply there, my half. Instead of multiply this 4 there, I'll be having a 2. So I take this side and I bring side 2 minus 1. So when I simplify this one, it becomes 2 sine x equaling to 1. So you make sine the subject, you have sine x equaling to half. So from there, now you see here, I'm going now to note, because it's positive, now we're on sine. Sine is positive in how many quadrants? Here, or by the way, for sine, cos, and tan, all of them are positive in the first. So you already did the other second quadrant. So you see that sine is here, so all of it is positive. So you take sine. Now meaning the angles I'm going to take are in the first and also the second. Why? Because sine is positive in the first and also positive in the second. So from there now, we get our sine, we get the inverse on the other side. So our x will be now sine inverse of half. How do we press it? The same idea. You get your calculator, now I'm on sine. So you press shift. Then you press sine. I think I need sine. Now you press sine. The inverse is going to come. Then you press, you open brackets, half 1. You press that one. Then you press this button here, like this. Then you press 2. Then you cross the bracket. Then you press equals. So it's giving me 30. So here, 9x is giving me 30 degrees. Is driving this? Yes, because it's acute and always acute angles, and the first, and I need that first quadrant. Then in the second, how do we get the angle? In the second, you start in the second, we get 180 minus the acute. So I'll get 180, then minus my acute. My acute here we have said it's 30. Now this is x, so here we have 180 minus x. Don't confuse that. So this will be 150 degrees. Now we write all of them. The one in the first quadrant, which is 30 degrees, and the one in the second quadrant, which is 150 degrees. I think you see this one is in the third quadrant because, I mean this one is in the first quadrant because they are from 0 to 90. This one is in the second quadrant because they are from 90 to 180, and so this value is between 90 and 180, and so on. But what I want to end with, when we come to A level or higher level, we are going to see that other triple functions like secant, cosecant, and cotangent will be in use, will be used. Now, for A level students, now sec theta is the same as 1 over cos theta. Then cot theta, I mean here sec theta, what we call the cosecant. The reciprocal is 1 over sin theta. Then the cot is 1 over tan. And then the cot, because it's a reciprocal tan, remember tan is sine over cos, so this will be cos over sine theta. So for all level members, from here up to here, then for A level members, we are going to see how do you handle from here up to there? Okay, so that's it, members. The other note I want you to take is the tan and the sine, cos, and then also all of them, they have two quadrats where they are positive and two quadrats where they are negative. As simple as that. So always put that in mind. That's why you saw here, the quadrant where that function is positive, then the two remaining is going to be negative, like we saw here on this one. So try other examples where now you make this a negative. When I make this negative, it means that sine is negative in the third and the fourth quadrant. And you get those angles because this is how you get those angles. You need to get this acute angle first. We say the sine is just helping you to identify the quadrants first. So that's it. I wish you well.